Hi folks, and welcome to week 2 of the general psychology course. This week we'll definitely be focusing more heavily on content than we did last week. And we're going to be tackling two major areas. One is how our biology influences our behavior with a particular focus on evolution. And then we will also be thinking about sexuality and sexual behaviors. And so in order to prepare you, there's a couple tasks, namely the text reading and some videos that I've assigned. And then the big activity that you'll be doing related to the content for the graded portion of the course is contributing to the sex ed curriculum Wiki assignment that I created for you. But then there's some additional tasks as well. So let's go ahead and get into the week 2 learning materials. And you can see, as I do every week, you'll have the reading guide to help facilitate your note taking. And then I also have some additional resources right here. This is summarizing some data related to teen sexual behavior that will be relevant for the Wiki assignment you're doing. There's a video on the principles of natural selection, and this is one of the best videos, best sources of information I've ever seen to explain natural selection. And then there's this video that is really looking at how homosexuality and the stigma that's attached to it can influence the mental health of individuals, and this would be relevant to the sex ed curriculum wiki as well. So I mentioned the sex ed curriculum wiki, so why don't we go ahead and get to that area right now. This is a brief summary, but if you want more information, and certainly you will, you'll want to open up this PDF file because this is going to summarize the assignment. Here's the general guidelines of what's expected for you, and then each one of you is expected to choose one of these 7 topics. And you can see within the whole topic, I have a couple underlined words. And these become important because it's possible for you to reserve one of the topics. And I've written discussion board here, but this is being used as a wiki. So let me show you what I mean by reserving a topic. I've gone back to the learning materials area, and I'm going to click on this, which will take me to the group page. And then you'll just click on your group name. Since I'm the instructor, I see all of the groups. You won't see that. Click on Group Wiki, because this is a wiki assignment. And then once you're here, you'll click on the relevant wiki page, Week 2 Sex Ed Curriculum. And right now, I have all of the major topics listed out here. So let's say you really wanted to focus in on explaining the drop in teen pregnancy and the increase in condom use. In order to sign up, you click on Edit Wiki Content. And once the page comes up, you'll simply enter in your name by what you want to write about, and then hit Submit. I'm going to hit Cancel just because I don't want to preserve that. And then later on, when you're ready to write out the full information, you would just go to Edit Wiki Content again. You can paste something from Word, or you can write directly into the wiki. It basically works like a Word document, essentially. I've returned back to the assignment page to show you that your role in the wiki, there's really, I guess, 2 tasks that you need to do. One is you will be a major contributor for that topic that you reserve, and that major contribution is due by Thursday night. But then you're also expected to comment or offer some elaborative information on 2 of the other topics, and that needs to be completed by the end of the week. So you do need to show up on that wiki page at least twice during the week, one for the major contribution, and then you'll basically just enter in comments with your name by them, comments beneath somebody else's major contribution. The other major thing related to this week's content that you will be graded on is, of course, the weekly quiz, and that's down at the bottom. As with last week and every other week for this semester, you will have 2 attempts. The quiz is open book, and I will count the higher of your 2 scores, and there's no time limit for the quiz. There's 10 questions. It's just like last week. The other task that's related to the content, and you can choose if you want to contribute a graded piece or not, is most weeks you will be looking at the Understanding Psych Research wiki presentation that you or one of your peers has created. This week I have created the Understanding Psych Research wiki, and in order to see that, you would just go to your group page, open up the wiki, and you will see that this is it right here, Week 2, Are You a Natural? So when we click on this, you will see the presentation that I created. And so not only is this informing you of information related to this week's content, but it's also essentially a model of what you will be expected to do for your Wiki presentation. And you can see I've integrated text with some relevant images. I've summarized my research study. I've talked a bit about the importance of these findings and the applications of these findings. And then at the end, I have a discussion question. And so what each of you are welcome to do is to offer your comment, your answer to the discussion question. You are expected to offer a comment on 8 of the 12 possible Wiki presentations. So you can choose whether you want to comment on this one or just review it. All right, back to week 2 learning materials. The last thing you are expected to do is to choose which topic you'd like to do your UPR Wiki presentation on. Now, in order to do that, you'll need to follow these instructions. First of all, you need to identify which of the articles seem most interesting to you. So in order to do that, you'll go to Project Information up here, and then you'll click on Understanding Psychology Research Project. And then click on Articles for Review, because this contains all of the possible research studies that you'll choose from. You need to choose one topic. You can see that they are organized in terms of the order in which they will appear in the semester. So you'll look through, read these short summaries or abstracts, and identify which of the topics are most interesting to you. Jot those down. And then what you'll do is go to the group page again, back to that Wiki page, and once it opens up, you'll click UPR Project Sign Up if it doesn't come up automatically. You can see here Caitlin's already signed up for one of the topics. Just as before, you'll click Edit Wiki Content and then enter your name next to the topic that you're most interested in and make sure that you submit it. I encourage you that while you are here in this project information folder, to just look over what is expected of you in the Wiki presentation. These are the things that you will be graded on, and you can look for those things in my sample Wiki as well. Hopefully I have met the guidelines that I've set forth. Now, if this idea of working on a wiki gives you the worries, you can certainly click on this video that I created. In the beginning part, it talks about just how to use the group wiki for weekly assignments like that sex ed curriculum task. And then at the 4.5-minute mark, it also talks about how you can use the wiki to do slightly more fancy things like you'll do for this wiki presentation. And that would include, inserting a video link, inserting pictures, inserting a table, things like that. All right, that does it for the tasks for this week. Certainly, if you have any questions, you can always send me an email, or you can enter something into this course information discussion board. Have a great week.